Tortuga. We got in last night, a little rainy. Apologize for the shadow staring into the sun, but that's the way the boat's looking. But Tortuga's home on her trailer. Had my first night back in my bed. It was kind of weird having same size bed, queen size bed that I had on the boat. This bed doesn't move though. Had a nice shower, started cleaning up still. Still got the scruff though. I gotta find out about work. If on the 14th I've got to shave for a class I want to go to, or if it's an out of uniform kind of class, and I can get a couple more days out of this growth before I have to return to the firehouse. But I thought before we clean up and go through all the breakdown that we have to, that I would show you guys a nice video of where we've been living the last 28 days. So you can follow me around. You can see we still have some. This is from the Mississippi River. Some scunge here that I haven't been able to get off using just the brush, but I think maybe with some right chemicals we'll see. Hopefully we wouldn't have to rewrap it because those weren't cheap. The boat, for those of you who don't know, is a Glacier Bay 2006 2685. Get out of the way of it. There she is. Such a good looking boat. Had it rewrapped just for the trip, repowered it, got the second station hooked up, and it has just been a great boat for this trip. I mean, the new motors, the fuel economy. So overall, I went through the numbers this morning. Overall on it, these big Zooks back here, with the motoring, the idling, inside of locks I would shut down, no carbon monoxide, and a little brake on the engines. 5,401 miles, 280 hours, 2,772 gallons of fuel is what we ran through on this trip together. Pretty impressive. I have no complaints with these Suzukis, and I was happy I put them on. Got a delivery, guys. Sorry for the beeping. Which comes out to 1.94 miles per gallon on this trip, which for being able to run 28-30 miles an hour is just incredible. And fuel prices on this trip were actually less than I was thinking they would be. Come back, there she is. So like in Georgia and the Carolinas, fuel was actually pretty cheap, like marina gas, $4.19, $4.25 a gallon. So I mean, it was great. Again, that wasn't every place, but some of the places in there. The highest we hit was actually back down here in Florida. I think it hit like a 625, 629. I'll go through and actually tally it up, but less than I was planning on spending. We got our, come back. Yeah, you think after all this time I would have had the gimbal stuff down. Look at that. We got our gold burgee up there for completing the Great Loop. All right, here's the back deck, our swim platform, motors, life ring. We got our grill. I used it a few times, but actually being at the marina or a dock each night, we would eat out quite a bit, which is kind of nice, getting out into the cities and checking out what they had. You can see here in front of me, that's not a gas can. That is our generator. Most of the stuff we were able to do just right off of inverter, but it was nice having that as a backup to run the electric skillet, or if I were to drain the batteries down too far, it was nice having that to charge everything back up. Got our benches. These the big ball fenders were incredible on this trip, going through all the locks. We also didn't have any refrigeration on the trip, so you can see we've got our Yeti cooler. So the blue one here was for food. The green one up there with all our stickers from the trip was for drinks, beverages. Oh. Hey Finn, morning Bob. Finn got on yesterday up in St. Pete and did the last day with us. How was it?
Good.
Yeah? What was your favorite part about yesterday?
Seeing you.
Seeing me? You know what, Finn? That was my favorite part of it too. 28 days was too long, or 27 days, I guess it was. Underneath Finn, for those that have been watching, is the inflatable tender we found off of Mississippi. Deflated it the other day instead of having it up so I could see the motors again. Underneath that, though, is storage boxes. We've got big fish boxes on each side. You can see the latch there. Here's our life raft underneath there. It's one thing we had on this trip is as much safety equipment as we could, because it was just, we didn't really know what to expect doing a trip this fast, because no one had done it consecutively before. And so we wanted to make sure that if we were going to hit some weather or get caught in some weather, that we had the right safety equipment. So the crew all had life jackets with survival equipment in it, our ditch kit, the boat's got an EPIRB, an emergency beacon. I also have 2 other like PLBs that can deploy personal locator beacons, the life raft. So lots of safety equipment. So looking in our compartments here, this one right here we had, was our trash and recycling. You can see I still have to empty it. And going forward, this was I guess this would be our dish cabinet. So there's only 2 to 3 of us on the boat at a time, so it didn't need a whole lot of dishes, so we're down below. Here's our pantry. Still quite a bit of food in there, but ate quite a bit, restocked along the way. But this was a great compartment. Like, again, this boat just did such a good job. And down here, a couple more big totes that we had to keep things dry. So there's our bread basket with our cereal, breads, tortillas. There's the electric skillet down there that was invaluable along this trip. Cooking food, heating up water. Up here at the helm. And I guess this would be our shoe closet down there. You can see I got some towels thrown out of the way because like I said, we were getting wet last few hours on the trip. And here's a spot we didn't really talk a whole lot about on the trip. A little bit before, but the cabin. So walking down into the port side sponson, you've got the head, which is a little tight, but it's nice to have it on board. Behind there is my armoire, right there. First couple days I had just my stuff still in the bag, and then ended up cleaning that up and putting my clothes in there. So had a pile of bottoms, a pile of tops, and socks and underwear in the middle. But just all kinds of storage. You can see here's the bed. It's a little messy because the kids were bouncing around there yesterday, but nice queen size bed, pillows, storage on each side, good access to the back of the dash. So because we'd run into some electrical issues, connectors, things like that needed to be redone. Quick access to it. There's storage underneath here. So underneath here, you can see that's a hatch. It gets into some shallow storage. The other sponson has full storage also. That's where we got the rest of our life safety equipment, our big life jackets, our ditch kit. There's also the access for water pumps, things like that. Don't mind my dirty underwears. Some bookshelves. And back here, I've got it's got a hand shower. It's sprung up around there. I was using it to fill and flush with the toilet, using fresh water instead of, because when we're up and running, the intake for the raw water is too far forward and you don't really get water into the toilet. So we would use that, and also it keeps the did ya? Nice job, bud. But it was nicer having that with the fresh water. You don't have the smell.
I just did a toilet paper in the trash.
Oh, gotcha. And then back here, more storage. That's a little medicine cabinet, flip out mirror, sink right there, and then a bunch of stuff, coats, sleeping bag. This area here you can actually use for the shower. This flips up. You can stand here, use that hand shower. Here, bub, let me get by.
I keep forgetting there's a shower there.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hidden.
Then even down here, access to all our cleaning supplies, extra stuff, manual bilge pump, toolkit, shop vac, just all kinds of.
You showed me the secret hatch under the bed.
I showed that.
Oh,
Yep.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Most of the time down here in Florida, I don't have the isinglass up, but it's got a nice isinglass enclosure on the 2685, which was, I mean, terrific really once we got up to New York City. Even in here, look, we did made a shelf inside of the, this is like for tackle boxes, but so I had my hoses down below for rinsing, and then our fuel tanks for the grill. All right here, nice storage. Come around to the front. Sorry if the sunlight gets you. Underneath this big hatch here, we've actually got a big drum windlass, or a winch underneath there. We don't have a windlass, so it doesn't like grab the chain and drop it. This actually winds it up so it'll pull the boat if need be. And then fender storage on the other side. There's our other big ball fender. And then the second station. Everything we could do down below, we could do up there. And it was a whole different boat running up there. It was just, we said it felt like being on a magic carpet ride, because you were no longer in the boat, you were sitting up top, you're kind of floating along, but man, it was fun. So Finn, you weren't sure if you were gonna like it, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think about it once we got in there? Once we got up top?
Like on the ride?
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because it was my second time.
Right. Yeah. But it was nice and calm while we were up there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. You can see we got our fishing poles back there. Didn't use the fishing poles once. Brought them so if like in the evening I wanted to fish, and didn't. So yeah, guys, this was home. So now it's time to break it down, get everything cleaned back up, and get it back ready for charter service again, so I can do my beach and dolphin day stuff with Island Coast Excursions. So again, yeah, make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe. Check out those other videos we got on here from our trip, because the 28 days run-in, I mean,
The world record.
we saw so much stuff in that 28 days. Like, I really have no complaints about that timeline. It'd be nice to go a little bit slower and check out some stuff, but for the time I had and doing it at 38 years old instead of waiting for retirement, this was a good trip, and this was a great boat to do it on. Might have been nice to have air conditioning towards the end, but other than that, I have no complaints. So enjoy the rest of your days, guys, and I'll see you in the next video, but it's time to get cleaning.